Welcome to the Live Your Dreams podcast, where success leaves clues and someone has your answer. Joined as always with my lovely co-host, Miss Tia McKissick.
Hello.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, first and foremost, before we get started, let's help someone. Ladies and gentlemen, Fund and Grow. If you go down to the description link and hit the link, Fund and Grow will give you a free funding training. Again, Fund and grow your business. Hit the link in the description box. The good people at Fund and Grow will give you a free funding training. All right, so first and foremost, this is our Thanksgiving episode, our first annual Thanksgiving episode. So before we get started, Tia, how was your week last week?
It was great.
It was good. What was good about it?
I worked. I spent time with you. Went to the movies. Saw Black Panther.
Yeah. And Black Panther, do you think, you didn't see number one though, did you?
No.
Okay. Did you like this one?
Yes. What you like about it?
I liked, unfortunately, the first Black Panther was so good, it's hard to beat that.
Okay.
Because the designs were good, the costumes were good. And this one, same thing. The costumes were good, the background, the settings were good. But again, one was so amazing. Plus, you had Chadwick Boseman in number one. With him not being in it, that was definitely a hard pill to swallow. But it was really good. You know, I like Angela Bassett. I like they had Michael B. Jordan, a little cameo in there. So I thought it was really good. It was really good. I enjoyed watching it. So today we're talking about Thanksgiving, our first annual Thanksgiving podcast. So first and foremost, when we talk about Thanksgiving, and it's so weird because, of course, your parents aren't here. My mother's not here. It's now we're the elders, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. But when you think of Thanksgiving, what does Thanksgiving mean to you, Tia?
Giving thanks and appreciating your family, your spouse, your children. Thanking God for being here.
Yeah, one more year, right?
Yeah. How about you?
Well, same thing. I mean, thankful because life could be difficult. Mm-hmm. Life could be challenging, but sometimes you just got to sit back and be thankful for what you have.
Right.
Because, again, you don't miss nothing till it's gone.
That's true.
And then what you do have, if it's taken away from you, then you be wishing you had it back.
Right.
So, this is a time where you get to spend time with a lot of family, a lot of friends, have some fun.
And one thing I'm very, very thankful of is health because, a lot of people have died,
Absolutely.
Last couple of years.
Absolutely. And one thing about it, especially now that we're working hard to get on that health tip, where we're exercising, losing weight, eating better.
Right.
Definitely, we're going to take advantage of what we can control. Right. Some of the things we can do without. That's so true. That we can live a healthier lifestyle because we want to be here, but we don't want to just be here. We want to be here and be healthy.
And enjoying each
other. And enjoying life. So Thanksgiving, we always have traditions on Thanksgiving. And I remember when your parents were here, we were all get in a circle and we would all say what we're thankful for.
Right, that's true.
And, those are some of the traditions which I kind of like.
Right.
Really getting in a circle, saying what you're thankful for.
Right.
Counting your blessings. That was some of the major points of Thanksgiving. So now that I guess we're becoming the elders and, our children, we celebrate Thanksgiving together. What do you think is some of the traditions we're going to take into the future?
Well, doing the same thing around the circle again, because that's what we used to do and say what we're thankful for and what they're thankful for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just going back and thinking now that I'm starting to think about that. Remember, even when we used to travel, we used to go to North Carolina with your parents.
Pray before we go.
We would stand around and pray before we go.
But prayer really works.
Yeah. It was amazing some of the traditions that we have that we still do.
We used to pray before we went. Pray, on the way back, we would stand in a circle and pray. Yeah. Make sure we had a safe travel back home.
Yeah, some of those traditions are really worth keeping.
Yeah, and sometimes we used to go to church on Thanksgiving morning.
Yeah, I remember that. Mm-hmm. I remember that. Now, going back, remember our first Thanksgiving together We went to Hornet Horns.
Oh yeah, we did go to Hornet Horns.
We went to Hornet Horns
because our parents went out of town.
Yeah,
so we didn't have nowhere to go.
Yeah, we didn't have anywhere to go, and we went to Hornet Horns for our
that was
first.
Our first
that was
Thanksgiving.
28 years ago.
Right, we was our first year of marriage.
Yeah, and Hornet Horns used to have a little bar that spin around.
Oh,
and you grab your food off of it before the bar goes around. Yeah, that was amazing. But this Thanksgiving, really looking forward to spending time with the family, uninterrupted time,
right?
Where you don't have to worry about getting any phone calls or anything like that.
You don't have to worry about work.
Yeah, it's just like where you just
spending a day with your family.
Yeah, uninterrupted.
Right.
Uninterrupted. So that's one of the things I'm definitely looking forward to. One of the things we do, we love playing Uno. I think that's our favorite game when everybody get together. We pull out the Uno cards. Right. But going back to when your parents were here and they used to have these big Thanksgiving dinners, they used to play spades.
Right.
Or bid whist. See, I grew up playing spades.
Oh, they grew up playing bid whist.
They grew up playing bid whist. And I don't even think I know anyone who played bid whist. Everyone I grew up with, we played spades.
Right.
But now we play Uno.
Right.
And now we're big Uno card players. So
we watch a movie and
we always do
together.
That. Watch a movie just to relax and spend time with the family. So definitely thankful. And this is Live Your Dreams podcast with Success Leaves Clues. Someone has your answer. Always remember, being thankful doesn't mean you got to have the most.
Right.
Right. Being thankful doesn't mean that right now all of your goals have been accomplished.
Right.
Being thankful doesn't mean that everything you set out to do, you've already done. Being thankful is really just stopping and being thankful for what you have right now.
That's true.
Because if you have your health, you ought to be thankful. If you have your right mind,
that's true,
you ought to be thankful. Because again, I keep saying that song, that testimony. Let me take that back. Because again, I grew up in the church, and they used to always say, "Hey, I woke up in my right mind," doing testimony.
That's true. Back then, I used to say, "Why they say that all the time?"
Right.
And now I know.
I guess, and I don't know.
I mean, your mind can get sick just like any part of your body.
And I don't know, because we're getting older now that we realize how that you can wake up and you won't be in your right mind.
That's true.
And I think we've seen countless times, but I think now to wake up in your right mind, that really means something to us. And you ought to be thankful for that.
That's true.
Your health and strength. If you got family, you ought to be thankful for that. Because again, sometimes we take things for granted, and then when a family member is gone, it's just like last week we talked about from scratch, right?
Right.
And same thing from scratch. And they didn't take each other for granted. I wouldn't say that. But when the husband got sick,
then that's when
the family would come together and have fun and relax and really cherish the moments. But I'm telling everybody, this Thanksgiving, you don't have to wait for somebody to get sick. Mm-hmm. Cherish the moments. This Thanksgiving, really spend time being thankful.
And every day.
Yeah, every day is Thanksgiving.
I don't think you should, get up every day and complain and
right.
Find the worst part of your day, but find the good. Our mother used to say, find the good in what you do, your job, and on every day.
Yeah, because one thing about it is sometimes we can find like the bad out of a situation, or be somewhat, I would say, negative, but sometimes not really focusing on the positive and not knowing or not really embracing that which you have can be taken away from you.
Right.
And that includes your health. That includes your family, because life is so unpredictable. So we're just encouraging everybody, don't wait. This Thanksgiving, really be thankful for what you have. And let's stay right there. We'll take a quick break for our sponsors. So, ladies and gentlemen, Short Child Care, short name, long in service. That was Tom's quote. And Short Child Care is working hard to expand, and the future is looking bright. And it is looking possible that Short Child Care will be expanding. So, again, there is a waiting list now. The number's on your screen. Call. Put your child's name on the waiting list, because spots do open up. And when spots open up again, you'll be next in line. So again, Short Child Care, short name, long in service. All right. So, Tia, can you remember what was your best Thanksgiving? Can you even remember the best Thanksgiving when you just really said, this is amazing Thanksgiving?
Most of them were.
Yeah, it's like
I remember a couple of times I got sick on Thanksgiving. Remember that?
I remember that day.
Gosh.
And I remember that time when you was sick, and we're not laughing at the sickness, when we're laughing at the because we had Tom, who was just a character. So Tom took Tia to the hospital on Thanksgiving. So Tom called back, hey, Mo, good news. Said good news. I said, what, Tom? They said Tia has high blood pressure. I think
it was diabetes.
Diabetes. They said Tia got diabetes. And me and Tia was like, Tia ain't got no diabetes.
I said, I don't have no diabetes.
Ain't got no diabetes. We were like, Tia don't got diabetes. So, but we had so many, things that we can sit back and laugh at now.
Right.
But when you're going through, you can't laugh at it because you don't know how the outcome's going to come,
That's
right?
true.
That's where the faith comes in, where you got to have that faith because you don't know what the outcome's going to be.
But most of the time, a good Thanksgiving was being at our parents' house. We always cook later. You always say, when is the food going to get done?
Because my sugar get low. So if I don't eat, my sugar get low.
We would eat around about 7, 8 o'clock at night.
So Miss Short would always cook. And she would prepare. Like everything was from scratch. She could have made that movie from scratch. But I would always say, why are we eating at 7 o'clock at night? Because she wouldn't let you touch nothing until everything was done.
Everything was done.
And it'd be like 7 o'clock.
Everybody was there.
And we eating. And I'm like, man, because we be getting there around 1.
Right.
And thinking you're going to eat at like maybe 2. Okay, maybe 3. Okay, maybe 4 when the Dallas Cowboys play. But we be eating like 7. And we're like, man. But those were the good times, though. Because you got to think, we would be there. We would get there around 12, 1. And we'd be there till about 9 o'clock at night.
Right, that's true.
And we would just be there just laughing and having fun and kicked back. So we have, when I was coming up, the elders used to say the good old days.
Right.
But now that we're becoming the elders, you can see the good old days we had with the vacations, the Thanksgivings, and going to the movies on Christmas. Some of these traditions that we do that we say, okay, those were the good old days.
Right.
Now you and I could look back and say, man, those were the good old days.
That's true.
And now our children are creating the good old days.
Right.
Because now they're doing the vacations with their kids, and they're doing these where they're creating the good old days.
Right.
And some of the memories for their children. And it's just amazing how life just repeats itself.
It repeats.
Because I never saw myself being in the position where you and I are, where we were becoming the elders. I didn't see that.
I didn't either.
I didn't see that where we'll becoming the elders and and they're asking our advice.
Right.
And still luckily, your parents, my mom set such a great example for us.
Right.
On how to, mature.
That's true.
If that's the word, how to mature in that role that you and I are assuming now. Right. To be the elders. And sometimes I look back, some of the things where, and this generation that's coming up was no different from our generation because 87 got really rough. But looking back at some of the things where I'm seeing some of the things that's going on now, some of the similar things.
Right.
And I say, well, you and I have so much that we could share, and we need to share that because sometimes some of these young people just probably don't know that it's a better way to live.
Right.
Right. And they think that all it is that drama or trauma, right?
Right.
Drama or trauma, and that's not life.
Right.
I never forget Tom when he drove me around Tatalian, and he said, Mo, this is a better way to live. He said, you don't have to live in that frustration or that or that type of lack of limitation or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
But he said it was a better way to live. And he showed me that. And, that's one of the dreams I have where that's why I'm doing a podcast. I just want to show people it's a better way to live.
Right.
You don't have to live with that frustration. You don't have to live with that worry because you can have faith. And one thing that I talk about, especially with Thanksgiving coming up, is that you have to be thankful for what you have.
That's
because true. You have to trust me, no matter where you are in life, there is somebody who wish they had what you had. Right?
That's true.
There is somebody out there who
wish they had the health that you had.
Right.
They could be in the hospital saying, I just wish I was healthy.
Right.
I don't have to have money. I don't have to have a car. You know, they just wish they had their health.
Yeah, and that's where I try to.
That's why we say don't compare your life with someone else's.
Yeah, Tom used to always say, hey, don't compare because you don't know what that person did to get there or if it's realistic, right? Because some things are just facade or a mirage. Right. It's not true. Right. So Tom was really good at showing me some of the things on and I would call it a better way to live. Right. You know, he really, truly showed me a better way to live where you can be experiencing joy every day.
Right.
Even though life is challenging sometimes, even though life is unpredictable, you can still have that joy.
Right.
And you can still have that zest for life where you do wake up spiritually pumped up, jump out the bed shouting, right? And he would say that all the time. But it's true. Mm-hmm. It's a better way to live.
Well, you better enjoy it because we only got one.
Yeah, and plus you don't know, yesterday is history, tomorrow's a mystery. All you have is the present moment, right now.
Right.
And you have to enjoy right now. And it's nothing that you can do to just switch it and really embrace it and enjoy the moment, right? Mm-hmm. It's all psychological. So, Thanksgiving, I'm thankful that, I had Tom in my life. I really am. Because, it was so funny. I was talking to my brother because, me and my brother talk now. Mm-hmm. And he was saying, he said, hey, you had Tom. And I thought for him, and I'm like, he right. Because if I didn't have Tom, I don't know. Because Tom showed me so much in a better way to live. He really changed my life.
Right.
I mean, for the better. And I really appreciate I would ever be grateful that I had him as a mentor, as a father, and as a friend, Mm-hmm. So I'm thankful for that. Even though he's not here anymore, I'm still thankful that he was in my life, Really thankful for that. And I had several other mentors that really helped me, gave me opportunities, and really, if it wasn't for them, it was, they a lot of people did a lot for me.
But I think our parents showed us what a good marriage is about.
Yeah, and how to long
not to
suffering.
Give up,
yeah,
even if you go through issues.
Yeah, it's knowing that at the end of the day, you and I are committed to be together.
Right, the good outweigh the bad.
Yeah, no matter what happens, we're committed to face it and still be together. And they set such a great example of that. Mm-hmm. I mean, they really did, and I pray that one day somebody could say that you and I set that example for them, and hopefully, prayerfully, I could be a mentor to somebody like Tom was to me to change my life, and that's just amazing. I remember they used to sing that song in church, if I could just help somebody, my living would not be in vain.
Oh, right.
All those songs they used to sing that we thought was so corny.
Right.
Or we thought was so boring.
Or we didn't think, we didn't think about it.
Right.
But now it's coming back to me. I was listening to some gospel today. And I said, gosh, that sounds like Grandma Lena singing.
But as you get older, you start to realize that this stuff starts to make sense.
It does.
And now you see why they did what they did to get through to the next day. Right. And be thankful for that. So I'm thankful. I'm our first Thanksgiving podcast.
Right.
And, prayerfully, God willing, many, many, many more.
Right.
And we'll grow bigger and better to really help somebody. Because that's my intent, to really help someone and really give back. Because somebody gave to me and somebody helped me. And hopefully I could be that same help for somebody else.
Right.
So without further ado, Tia, you had any closing remarks?
Enjoy your Thanksgiving with your family and friends.
That's it. Enjoy your Thanksgiving with your family and friends. And one thing with that, Tia, even that time you and I spent Thanksgiving together, it was still a great Thanksgiving. Because I think one thing you and I had together, we were both, I guess the word equally yoked, or we both just wanted to be happy, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? So even if you just spend it with one person, it ain't the amount of people you spend it with.
Right.
It's just, are you equally yoked and spending it with somebody that you love?
Right.
And somebody that loves you back.
Right.
Right. That's important because you can love somebody, but you want somebody to love you back.
That's true.
It's both, right? You want to give and you want to receive.
Right.
That's a relationship.
And
right?
Thanks to Mike Humes for introducing us.
Like the mailman to millionaire. Shout out to Mike. I talked to him last week too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's on a 27-day a fast or what they call it? What's that thing where you don't eat in a day or something like that? Well, whatever. But yeah, I did talk to him last week. Yeah. So shout out to a mailman to millionaire, Mike Humes. All right. So without further ado, and again, ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you, and yes, I do mean you, living your dreams. Peace.